What's up YouTube, Saf here on SuperSaf TV and welcome to another Ask Saf Q&A video. So I put out a tweet the other day asking you guys for your questions and we had loads of questions, so thank you for all of those and let's get straight to them. What are you hoping to see out of the Red Hydrogen 1? Red Hydrogen 1 thoughts? What can you say about Red Digital Camera Company's Hydrogen smartphone? So clearly a lot of interest around this new Red smartphone. So to give you a brief summary, Red are the manufacturers of those dope cameras and lots of them are used in feature films, TV series, as well as Marques Brownlee's videos. And last week, they randomly made an announcement of a new smartphone which they're going to be releasing in Q1 of 2018. There's very limited information about it so far. We know that it's going to have some form of holographic 3D display. So we've seen some 3D displays before which have usually worked on lenticular technology. I've already covered one which is the Takey 1. But apparently this is going to be something like we've never seen before without any glasses. It's going to be running on Android OS with a micro SD card slot. It's going to have a 3.5mm headphone jack. Some real emphasis has been put on the audio of it as well. And it's also going to be modular like we have on the Red cameras, which are also modular and you can attach bits to them. So you're going to be able to do that on the smartphone as well. How exactly all of this is going to work, we're not too sure yet. We also have the prices. There's an aluminum version which is going to be around $1,200 and there is the titanium version which is $1,600. Now I have pre-ordered the aluminum one just to mainly check out what it's going to be all about. I have no idea what to exactly expect, but I am pretty excited to see the display, and because I do like their cameras, it'll be nice to see what they have in this form factor. Now, one surprising thing is that they have already taken my money and lots of other guys have been also talking about this. So it kind of seems like a Kickstarter project. Usually when you pre-order something, they will only take your money just before they ship out the device to you. But my money has already been taken on my account, which I wasn't too happy about, but I guess that's just how Red works. So next year, when it does come out, we'll have some hands-on coverage, so make sure you do stay tuned for that. Which is the best flagship according to you at present? Ask Saf. Who's safe? Overall users vote was S8. What's your favorite flagship? So I've been doing some polls on my social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, which you may have already seen if you follow me on there. If you're not, then make sure you do go ahead and follow me on there. And I featured 8 of the most popular flagships in this poll, and the S8 had a win overall. And I think I'd have to agree with that poll. The S8 is my current favorite flagship. Now there's lots of reasons for that. One of the main ones is the display and design of this thing. I really do like it. And I've been using it as my primary daily driver for the best part of 2 to 3 months. And I will be doing a 2 to 3 month later review of the S8, which is going to be coming up hopefully by next week. I still haven't fully finished all my notes for that yet, so hopefully that will be coming next week. Do you really think Apple will ditch Touch ID in the next iPhone? Thoughts on the iPhone 8 leak? Why not use the Apple logo on the back of the phone as the fingerprint scanner? So there's been a lot of questions around the new iPhone, and I've been covering all the major leaks as and when they've come out in the form of videos. But one of the biggest questions has been around the fingerprint scanner. Because the new iPhone is going to have a large display with minimal bezels, where is the fingerprint scanner going to go? Well, most rumors were initially suggesting that we're going to have the fingerprint scanner embedded within the display, but this technology doesn't seem so easy to do. And we have seen some videos from Qualcomm who are working on this, and some of the prototypes do show this fingerprint scanner working, but it is relatively slow and it's probably going to take some time before it's developed to a point where it can be mass produced, which is most likely going to be next year. So because of these reasons, it looks like Apple are not going to be able to achieve this in time. Now, following on from this, we had lots of rumors that Apple will then be placing the fingerprint scanner on the back of the device underneath the Apple logo, and we saw some dummies and leaked designs to this effect. And a lot of you were saying that this looks absolutely ugly and why don't they have it as part of the Apple logo, which I completely agree with. This would look ugly, but remember, these are leaks which may be of early prototype models, and it doesn't look like Apple's going to do this either. So what are they going to do? Well, the most recent leaks are that we're not going to have a fingerprint scanner at all, and it's going to be 3D facial recognition technology, which we're going to be using to unlock the new iPhone. So we've already seen some similar technology like on the S8 where you can unlock it with your face, but it's not that accurate because it can be fooled with a picture, even if it does take quite a few tries. Now, it's important to remember that the new iPhone is likely to have 3D facial recognition technology, which should be much more accurate than the standard facial recognition that we've seen previously. And it could potentially be the only fancy method of unlocking your device unless you go for the traditional tapping in your PIN. This would be quite disappointing, I would say, because even though the facial recognition and the iris scanner on the S8 is pretty good, I do still prefer having a fingerprint scanner at the front, which is nice and easy to access. But there is a big possibility that it might not be done for the iPhone 8. Now, I'll be covering other leaks about the new iPhone as and when we get them, and doing a full final leaks and rumors roundup a few weeks before the actual release, when we've got pretty much all we need to know about the iPhone. So definitely look out for that. Thoughts on Adobe Premiere versus Final Cut? Now, my thoughts are, go with what you prefer. I personally prefer Adobe Premiere Pro, mainly because I've been using it for a long time. I'm a Windows user primarily, and I also like using Adobe Photoshop and After Effects, which work really well together with Adobe Premiere Pro because they're all from Adobe. Now, having said that, I've got nothing against Final Cut Pro or Final Cut Pro users. If you're a Final Cut Pro user, we can still be friends. It simply comes down to personal preference. Both Adobe Premiere Pro and Final Cut Pro are really good pieces of software with advantages and disadvantages. It really comes down to what you want to use as a user. My advice would be, if you're unsure about which one to use, then try them both out. They both do offer 30-day trials, I think, so definitely do try both of them out and see which one works best for you. What computer and monitor are you using for editing? So I'm primarily using the Dell XPS 15 for editing my videos, mainly because it allows me to be flexible and I can take it with me wherever I need to. And I have been moving around a lot recently. And for the monitor, it is this beast here at the back, which is the LG 38 UC99. I think that's what it's called. It's an absolutely great monitor for editing, especially with all of that space that you have. I definitely recommend it. So guys, that is the end of this episode of Ask Saf. Thank you for all of your questions. If you want to be featured in the next episode, then definitely follow me on Twitter. And before I'm about to do an episode, I will tweet something out and you can get your questions in and hopefully they'll be featured then. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it useful. If you did, then please do hit that thumbs up button for me. It really does help me out. And if you haven't already, then be sure to subscribe and switch on notifications. There's plenty more content coming up on here. Thanks for watching. This is Saf on SuperSaf TV, and I'll see you next time.